Welcome everybody to the final episode of our playthrough here on Scorched Earth. It's not, well, the last final episode isn't exactly a playthrough on Scorched Earth, because what we are going to be doing, as you can probably see again, in the title is exploring the past. How in the world did we get here on this station floating in space that is basically a deserted... It's not a wasteland. It's just a desert, but on this desert, I was a fantastic turd from this small creature. Yeah, its anus is way too small for what just came out of it, basically. All right. So yeah, I am in my what is it? The Extinction is what's it called again? The Homo Deuce helmet or the Homo Deuce outfit skin. Homo Deuce skin because yeah, we played on Extinction. We came from Extinction to Scorched Earth. What we did was the island, then Extinction, and then we're here, plopped down on Scorched Earth, and I'm going to take you on a tour of, kind of a base tour from where I started to where we are now. Wow, I have not been here in a long time. This is quite nostalgic, actually. All right, little thing here. As you can see, I've sort of, well, I don't have the previous the armor that I had on because I just remembered that actually there was a the snakes are really loud. Here, let me get out of here. Usually nothing good in a blue donut drop, but we'll check it out. So yeah, due to a saving glitch, and while I was transferring arcs, the game actually duplicated my character on the island. So I actually had the same character saved on the island at the same time my character was saved. This was when I was doing Extinction, so a green obelisk. Wow. Is there a Rex army over here? So yeah, maybe on the second time transfer, second or third, hey, it's a Rex army! Look at that! There they all are! Wow! And are you Tyrannus? Just chilling out here. I'm guessing we were fighting the Broodmother last time. I think they're all healed up, ready to go. And Jara, my old Tappy. Yeah, because while we were on Extinction, I realized that I needed engrams from both Scorched Earth and Aberration. So what I did was I made special trips over there. I didn't do anything except for on Aberration. I just had to tame a bulb dog, man. I kind of like went exploring around a bit. I was like, ooh, what's this? What's this? Some interesting rocks and stuff, and then I just had to tame a bulb dog. I figured out how to tame it, and then yeah, tamed the bulb dogs, brought those over to Extinction. But other than that, we didn't do anything other than just learn engrams. Oh wow, haven't been here in forever. Okay, so well, this isn't technically where I first started, but I mean it's my first base, and yeah, so this is basically where I started off in Ark. This is it. Actually, this area here I built much later. I built kind of end game here while I was doing farming of the difficult water caves. Ooh, the smell of flies. Yeah, so this is our first house. Built it here. Over time it expanded a bit, but basically it's pretty small. And yeah, the way you get up here is you just jump, and then you jump here. Yeah. And then later I came back to build this greenhouse because I still had quite a bit of creatures over here, as you can see, and I didn't want this place to be wasted and forgotten. So when I built my greenhouse, but it's pretty cool actually. It's kind of cool. I built my greenhouse here, and then I decided to put this in here too because the greenhouse was here, and all that's where all the fruits and vegetables were. This was a this was a taming pen over here. I had like a gate here and a gate here. And I thought, leading stuff in and then taming it. Yeah, tamed a lot of stuff here. I actually had quite a few creatures. And then we migrated. Oh, I remember here, this is where we encountered our first Caprosukis. I actually thought it was a Sarco because I had seen Sarcos before. Oh, look at that berry. Check. Anyways, yeah, Capro popped out of here, and I had a club on me, and this was way early in the game. I mean, my settings were basically vanilla, totally vanilla for a single player. I didn't know anything about Ark, and yeah, I got Caproed. And so I just took out my club and started beating it because it was the only weapon I had, knocked it out, and I tamed it. And that was my first Capro, and I was like, whoa, what's a Capro? And yeah. So yeah, right here on the beach by the deadly swamp, that is where we cut our teeth on Ark. Yeah, we also tamed a Pelagornis. That was the first bird, but, you know, the levels of the creatures were so low, and I didn't know anything about taming and stuff, so, you know, we probably got like a level 2 or 3 Pelagornis, and, yeah, trying to fly around the map on one of those. I remember both my Pelagornis and then the first Pterodon that I tamed. Man. Like, you couldn't go anywhere on those things. You couldn't sprint because they would run out of stamina immediately. And even just the weight of my body, just empty. My dry weight was almost too much for them. And, like, you know, I was pumping weight, but it just wouldn't go up enough. And that's the thing about playing on, what you say, low difficulty, when dinos are too low. It actually, in many ways, it makes it more difficult. Let's see, actually our base is over there. It makes it more difficult because, you know, you get like low weight and low health and low stamina on your creatures, and everything still weighs the same, you know, and the distances are still the same distance apart, and so you need high weight and you need high stamina, and playing on a low difficulty, you can't get those things, and you pump half your levels into weight, and it just hardly makes a difference, you know. So yeah, playing on the low difficulty has actually unique challenges. I'd be curious to see a playthrough on a really, like, the lowest difficulty possible. Wonder what that would be like. Or if your like level cap was 1 and every creature always spawned at 1, I bet that would be a really, really hard playthrough. And you don't get any taming bonuses, you know, taming bonus levels or anything like that, right? So we moved over here. I think we took a small number of creatures. I remember taking my Baryonyx and other things over here. We actually stayed over there for quite a while. I mean, it was quite a while. And then we finally moved over here because that was where the metal was, and I thought, you know, it's time for the metal age, and we need to go where the metal is, because my birds, we couldn't really carry metal. I would go to that plateau in the river over there and harvest a bit of metal every time. Yeah, so we built this place. The wall came later, of course, much later. I spent a lot of time here too. I mean, my island playthrough was my first, so I didn't know anything about Ark. It took me a long time to do things, and this base gradually grew and grew and grew and grew as you can see. I had like even artifacts here. I was experimenting with all kinds of stuff. Just take you on a... Every time I went back to this place, it was always so creepy, because I was like, man, if in a way it felt like I was just here, like, doing so many things, even though it had been so long. Yeah, it's like it's alive, but it's dead, or it's frozen in time. I had some sort of trophy. I think I had my first Alpha Rex trophy on there. Basically everything's gone from here. I took it all out and I moved, but yeah, this is where it was. I was making the beer. And, you know, as I ran out of space, I kept on, you know, building new places with, you know, pillars down there, and expanding, you know, knocking out holes in walls, making doors. As of right now, oh man, and yeah, this is basically like a cliff, you know. You like get up here and you like sprint, and you just like lose half your health from fall damage. And then this place was so crowded with dinos, like all the time I was just fighting, trying to get through all my dinos that I had tamed, because I didn't know anything about Ark, and I was taming everything that was around. Just like, oh, it's another Rex, I could kill it, or could I just tame it? And then it could be used as like another bodyguard, and I'd have like, I literally had 17 or 16 or 15 Rexes around here, all just to crap levels. It was crazy. Yeah, and this place goes higher. Let's see, I gotta go out here. And up here, that's where my generator was, and my fridge, my first fridge. Yeah, like this was like the first ever generator and fridge. It's amazing. And then come up here, and then I built this quite later. This was for penguins. Actually, I just started breeding penguins. And then up here was my flyer platform. I had RGs and flyers, and this was just before the. It was just before the RG DLC. So I started playing, and I had like maybe 3 RGs just before the RG DLC. But I did start playing after the flyer nerf. I believe it was pretty much just after the flyer nerf. So for me, the flyer nerf was like that's the way Ark was, and I didn't realize how near that was when I started playing. And everybody was talking about the great flyer nerf, you know. Alright, so that was my second base. I spent tons of time here, and then it got so crowded, and then I had this idea that I would just build this massive, massive base where I could put all my dinos inside of this one base and still have plenty of room. Flyers, everything. So that's what I did. And I spent tons of time making it, and this was all, like, the entire island was done without mods, except for right at the very end I added the teleportation mod, because I literally had to go from obelisk to obelisk with a pack of Rexes, and this is insane. Try to keep things brief, you know. For me it's like a walk down memory lane, and I'm like, oh, look at that, oh my god, it's I wondered if that's the same guy I remember walking here before, and I saved his ass. Oh no, I really need a scope. Alright, there is my final base. There it is. It's kind of house looking in its architecture, you know. But yeah, that's a behemoth gate right there, so it's quite big. Some of my these are you know, my boss Rexes, but they've been leveled differently, so they're my kind of all-around, all-purpose Rexes. Alright, so this is my base. As you can see, we've got, I think those are actually, yeah, those are painted. I didn't do, oh, look, and the trees are back. Yeah, this is a problem. Sometimes trees pop through. I've never seen it so bad before. Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. I have never seen it so bad before. That's crazy. Yes, so for whatever reason, jungle or the swamp trees pop through there. So this was my base. Yeah, it's like pretty big for, you know, a single player base, and yeah, obviously it has its own climate as well. When I was playing through here, everything, the max level was 54. Yeah, and so we beat all the alpha bosses eventually, and I got my tech replicator. I even crafted myself up a tech suit eventually. I have these guys here. Went with the Spanish naming theme on these guys. I didn't really get much into breeding until quite late in my playthrough when I learned a bit more. And I did all the Rex breeding here, stuffed the Rexes in here, blocked them in with other large creatures, and put them on wander for the breeding. Oh look, he's laid a Titan boa egg. That's amazing. Yeah, no S plus, so I'd have to pick that up and store it myself. Oh yeah, and this was my crafting area here. Yeah, the idea was, you know, of course, to have dinos kind of around. But yeah, the idea was to have a lot of space around, and I could easily come in here with like resource-laden dinos and come directly up to all my crafting stuff, which is what I had a problem with on the mountain over there. This is a serious problem, and just deliver it directly because there was no S plus. Keep in mind, just deliver it directly from a dino, park it here, and just transfer everything by hand myself, which is what you had to do. And this was my crafting area. Actually, I kind of like this. Pretty cool. And up here is where I did a lot of wrecks. It's very small. But I did a ton of breeding up here with eggs and stuff. Hatching eggs right up here. This is where the Rex army was born, basically. Yeah, so, right. So I got this bird area up here. And this has an outside entry point. So you're flying your bird, you can come in just right in here, land your bird here, go in through. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's just a bird place. I have the gates on all four sides, or you can just fly in with your bird like this, as usual. You gotta come up here with a bird because I just never created another way. Oops. Over here I created kind of like a hangout place, trophy room as well. Yeah, I got all the trophies over here. Artifacts, which many have been used for boss fights. Place to have a campfire with friends. You can have a drink. You got a toilet here. The bog, it says there. You have a toilet. What's up here? Just a hangout place, nothing special. Over here, I believe I had the pub. Let's see if can I put a bird in there? No, I can't really. You have a forest over here. Here's the Thylas. Yeah, I never really did anything with the Thylas, but I don't think I ever really. I found two relatively higher levels. So when I tamed them, I don't think I've ever leveled these guys up. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So. Tamed at 57, 33, and a 71. Or maybe this one's been leveled, I'm not sure. Yeah, it actually looks like it's been leveled. Exit to the outside there. Oh, I got bees, yeah, bees. Tame those the classic way. Very hard. Many, many failures. Up here you have the pub, it's the Retching Rex. There's the Retching Rex right there. And yeah, basically you have your drinks. Let's see, what's up here? Oh, it's just a little place. Maybe you can come up here with your lover, and once you've had enough drinks and start making out or something. This goes all the way to the little, I don't know, hangout area over there. Oh yeah, over here. Yeah. Come over here. Oh, this is one of the mods we added in later, the fog remover. Great mod, especially if you're on the island where you have that super thick mod where you can't even see the door right in front of you and you're just like, oh, oops, I just died. Yeah, it doesn't get rid of the other fogs, and that's fine, you know. There's still kind of a thick fog that's a bit annoying that it doesn't get rid of, but it gets rid of that one that you can't see literally everything. It's like the sandstorm on Scorched Earth, where you basically just have to stop playing and wait till it goes away. Drum set, so you can, you know, have a solo while you're, yeah, just maybe cheer up your tames or something. Ooh. Yeah, I can parachute off of here if I want. And out here you have another deck balcony, just like you do the one over there. Come out here and enjoy the rising sun. So yeah, this is probably one of the only places where you can build such a large level base on the island. Other than that, you're going to be using, if you have S+, either multiple foundations, or you're going to be using the pillars. And I think, yeah, after I had completed this base, or completed the main most of what you see here, I basically completed this base. I actually did a playthrough on official for maybe 3 to 4 months, and I'll just show you right now. Just it's the picture in the Dark Brotherhood, but here it is. That was my base there. This is where it all got started. Very long and slow playthrough due to the learning curve here on the island. And you know, I do kind of take things slow and methodically, and I do a very detailed playthrough, I think. Yeah. So next, I was going to do Scorched Earth, like do it in like a chronological order, but Extinction was new at the time, and I thought I wanted to play Extinction when it was new along with everybody else, instead of just playing everything well after everybody else had already done it. So I kind of wanted to, you know, have that experience of doing it and learning along with everyone. So that's what I did. Instead of going for the Overseer fight, which is what I was planning, I just packed up and I started a new with the same character. I transferred character, but I started a new playthrough on Extinction. So we'll go there. Alright, so we're on Extinction, and here's basically where I started. Yeah, I wanted to build my first base, you know, in the city area. So, so I think I just picked this spot. I didn't build anything, yeah, before this spot. And, you know, we lived here for a while, I'd say, you know, and you know, base got bigger. I eventually built that wall around here. Right now, this isn't how it looked. Okay, so there was a problem that started around the Christmas event. Major problem. Stuff in any inventory, anywhere, no matter what the thing was, if it was an inventory, things would just disappear. Other things, like in my hotbar or saddles on, like this. My tech saddle on my tape Jera. This is actually a tech saddle. It has become a techgram. It hasn't become a blueprint, it has become a techgram, which that means if I were to take that off, or if I were to cryo this creature, I think you do. I can't remember. But anyways, so if this saddle were to come off, that means it would disappear from the game. I would have a techgram that I could move around, and there's nothing you can do with it. So that was the problem. You know, stuff in my hotbar, stuff, saddles like that, my armor would become techgrams while I was wearing it, and other stuff in inventories would simply disappear. Anything from weapons to armor, just stored, to blueprints, many blueprints disappeared. So what I did, oh, and also, cryo the dinos would disappear, because then they are considered just an item, and they are in an inventory, so they disappeared. So I was losing tons of cryo dinos. So what I did before I left was I just uncryoed everything, did a purge of what I thought I didn't need, and I used this place as a storage for a lot of the dinos. So yeah, it's not supposed to look like this, but that's the way it is now. This was my original house I built, and this was, I included S Plus in Extinction. This is where I kind of fixed everything that was wrong with me playing Ark. I put the max level up to 180. I included S Plus, maybe some other mods, but I can't remember. But basically that was it. So yeah, this is where I started. I really didn't do much at all with the interior of this place. I think my crafting stations are, yeah, out here. And yeah, so this is where I started on Extinction. And yeah, to expand, I built this, and then I built this bridge to go across, because getting across there was, you know, with any dino that was not a flyer, was quite difficult, because it was here. right? So I built this bridge, like, it took me a week to build this thing. It was really difficult due to the height. As you know, it's kind of convoluted here. And very recently in the game it was broken. But the sad thing about it was I built the bridge, and then after I completed it, I moved to my base over there, and then the bridge became mainly irrelevant. I never really used it, even though I spent so much time. But I got a funny story for you. So when I started, I gave myself 2 creatures that I uploaded. A Megapithecus and a Tapejara. Not this Tapejara, but a Tapejara. So I had a Gigantopithecus. Yeah, Gigantopithecus and a Tapejara I uploaded, and I uploaded myself 1 set of armor, a good pike, and a good crossbow, I believe. And that was it, and that's how I started my playthrough on Extinction. Unlike Scorched Earth, where we started with absolutely nothing. I just spawned there. But anyways, so to get my stuff, I thought I needed to go to an obelisk, right? So I was like, okay, where are the obelisks? And I was like, oh yeah, they're in these domes, aren't they? So I was like, okay, well, I could see, I think I was way over there in that. I was quite beyond this trench there. I was way over there. And I could see that, so I made my way across, on foot, with nothing, to go and retrieve my stuff from the obelisk terminal, because I thought that was the way. And I made it actually pretty far. I made it, yeah, so I believe I came out probably from that gap right over there, marched my way over here, got to here, found this cliff, wondering what to do, and then was attacked by a Carno. And yeah, I couldn't get away, and I died. so yeah, I then looked, of course, on the map, and I was like, oh, I can just spawn, here within the Scorched Earth biome. So I did. Probably as close as I could to the obelisk. So yeah, I did a lot of creeping and sneaking around, obviously, because no armor, no weapons, and I found down here, like, yeah, there's definitely no terminal underneath the obelisk like there usually is, right? So I was like, oh no, how in the world are you supposed to get your stuff out of there? There are no beacons that drop down in the world, so I was like, oh, how do you do that? But yeah, I found one of those terminals where I saw it, and yeah, I was kind of like, maybe that's it, I didn't know what it was, but yeah, so I snuck down there. I remember there was a Volanosaur and something else kind of dangerous guarding it, or kind of walking around it. I'm like, oh great, but yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think, and I might have been like up here, like crouched around here, or something, waiting for the Volanosaur or something else to go away, and then yeah, I made my run for it, and I got my stuff, downloaded, and then I made a break for it, yeah. And then I realized that the whole thing was really stupid, because where I had originally spawned, within the city, there were quite a few of those things, and I could have just walked up to one probably really easily and got all my stuff, so it was pretty stupid. Yeah, that's another problem on single player that occurred pretty early in my playthrough, is that the texture of the side of these arcs here, they just open up when you get close to it. So most of the time when you're inside of one of these things, there's a huge area that's open just like that, and you can see the outside world from it. Yeah, it's just a glitch that they never fixed on single player, and I don't know why. I remember earlier in the game there was also a glitch, a similar glitch. People were having similar troubles on their multiplayer, and they put out a patch that fixed that, but single player wasn't fixed. for that. So that's always been like that. It's the same way in the ice biome as well. It's unfortunate, but that's the way single player is. It's kind of the forgotten mode. You know, first everything is fixed or changed or rerouted or revamped, renewed, repurposed for PvP, because that's the most kind of maybe emotionally charged gaming play style where everybody, you know, has the most complaints from. And then of course the PvE and single players, we get we sometimes get a trickle down effect every once in a while. Anyway, so yeah, I made that base over there, and then I built the bridge, and then after that I just moved because I needed more space. So I had this idea of kind of making this nice area that was just on the very edge of the city biome and shielding, but also on the edge of the wasteland, along with all these waterfalls, using cliff platforms, and that's what I did, and it was very difficult. And before I did that, I actually needed to block this area off because I was worried about constant you know, the corrupted creatures coming down here. So I made this wall with this gate using Adobe. It's the first time I had used Adobe. And my defenses have changed. My defense strategy of the wall has changed here and there, but basically it's kind of the same. So these plant turrets, the S+ ones, they work really well, plus the Volanosaurs around here, and they, yeah, I've got it to where I'm not worried about it anymore. Before it was crazy, and you know, it was constant battle, and this thing was getting damaged all over the place. And then yeah, as you can see, it works pretty good. Oh, that's right, it is broken up here. That keeps on breaking, so so the water system all comes from this rock right here. Yeah, so we have a backup right there, and that's usually pretty well guarded, and that keeps it going. As you can see, there's a lot of defenses on this side as well. Yeah, so this gate, we made that. That was a big effort, but we did it. And so then we built this place, and we built it up over time as well. I was actually thinking about putting a bunch of platforms over there, you know, for extra dino storage and stuff, but we didn't. And maybe we didn't need it. But here's where most of the game all happened and took place. Right in here. Here's where I spawn when I die. Got this. I like this. It's very nice here. It's very pleasant, very surreal, calming. This is the only way I can get up and down here, though. I built this. Obviously, you saw on the island, my breeding and everything space was pretty bad. So I built this specifically, a big area for breeding. And on Scorched Earth, as you can see, I did improve it. This is just one big open area. On Scorched Earth, I realized, yeah, I'd be doing a lot of breeding, separate creatures, and so I had all these different rooms and stuff. Yeah, so these kind of stairways and walkways are kind of a theme going on. I was trying to go for a theme, you know, kind of a platformish, bridgey-like theme. I got sheep in there in case I need to slaughter one. So you can go up here, and yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of like it's like this giant half cave kind of cliff base. Yeah, this is all the crafting area. Plenty of space in here. Tech replicator crafted up a whole bunch of stuff, you know, when we are doing other building projects. I got defenses up here. So everything's watered with the S+ beehives, and then these guys are cooking up all the fertilizer, and then this guy's collecting it, distributing it. And we've also got the tech generator, so powering all these things. So it's pretty well automated, all the defense systems, and you know, it was an evolution over time. It was a slow, you know, progressional evolution. I mean, if you're doing single player, doing the solo on Extinction, teleporting, oh yes, it is a must. Yeah, but this is, I actually really like this location, you know, it's kind of central on the map, between your two major biomes there, and that you probably go to the most. It's pretty close to either one. There's, yeah, definitely a number of drops, or what do they call those? The beacons from the sky that land nearby. And so if you want to do one, you're alerted to it. You know, there's several around here. It's very beautiful, of course. That's one of the reasons why I picked it. And you're still in the city and guarded by the shield, you know, for the meteorites. There's the original Gigantonio. Yeah, he came with us from. He was born on the island, and he came with us. This is the guy that we downloaded from the terminals. And then down here is kind of like dino storage. It's like the biggest portion of the base, and it's the part I added last. Yeah, other big dinos or other just egg layers. Other things that just take up space. Here's our Rex army here. They're still hitched. This was back when we used hitching posts. That was our Rex army. Who are these guys? These are Father Golden Army and Mother Golden Army. So that was our Golden Army we used to do all the big fights for loot. Here's some of our battle RGs that we use. These are the same ones that we have on Scorched Earth that we did the boss fights with. I don't know. I just don't think they're particularly useful, although they're really cool. So we never did any breeding, but you know, I would like to use these more. And they're so funny, you know. Gotta love a gas packs, even if you never use them for anything. You just love them. Yeah, so that's the main base here. Now I will go show you the. Let's see. Alright, so second base that we created is in the forest biome, but there's a problem. We can't go to the forest biome anymore because of some weird glitch. Anytime we get anywhere near that part of the map, the game crashes to my desktop. So yeah, I think what the problem is I have tamed the forest titan. And of course before that it was buggy, but ever since I tamed the forest titan I could not go back into the forest biome. It's like blocked to us. You cross a certain pixel in the map and there's the man of armor. I wonder if they're still any good anymore. Are man of armors even useful anymore? Other than just maybe traveling quickly? I mean, you can always just take a bird, so I mean, they were never really meant for just traveling. Oh yeah. Do not want to fight a man of armor because we will die instantly. Well, actually, well, maybe we won't. No, they were pretty much nerfed to death before. I haven't used one in a long time. But there is one outside of a base here. Freezing anything. Oh, he just did the disappearing thing, yeah. You know how they dive on something, and when they land, the creature, of course, hits them because they've entered melee range, and they disappear. That's what happened to that one. That's what happened to so many of my man of armors I was trying to tame. Alright, anyway, so here is our snow biome base that we created. You know, a place to maybe respawn when we were doing just dangerous things. You know, man of armor taming, or the Titan bottle, the Titan battling, stuff like that we might die. I just created this kind of, you know, place, mostly respawn area, and you know, to keep some creatures. I had a woolly mammoth in here to collect wood sometimes. Unfortunately, though, the wood around here doesn't respawn. I don't know why, which is why the woolly mammoth is no longer here. Yeah, so we got the S Plus Tech elevators in here. We can go up. We got this weird, I don't know, just ceiling here. But yeah, you got this balcony up here. You can, yeah, it's a beautiful view. Oh, look at the deforestation, and oh, man of armor. Blah. Look at that. Alright, so that's the snow biome base. Pretty simple. Wasn't really meant to do a lot. So now what we have to do is we must go and kill our forest titan. Because, you know, if we don't, I'm not sure if we could ever get back into the forest biome, and I'm not even sure if this is gonna work. Alright, forest titan, are you ready to go back to whence you came? Let's see if we can do this here. Whoa, one shot. He is going down. Oh yeah, that's how they die, isn't it? They just turn into wood or something. Okay, so he's down. So does this mean we can possibly go back to the forest now? Is the forest now open to us? Yeah, gotta love extinction glitches. There are many. Ooh! We have... I'm afraid to move the camera. I'm literally afraid to move the camera, but we have made it into the forest biome once again. Wow, Balagagin's death was not in vain. Okay, so we built this nearby the battle area, you know, to have, of course, a base in the forest biome, but to also have a nearby spawn point for when we die trying to tame it or fight it or whatever. And this is it. Yeah, so it's kind of like this high-tech glass treehouse structure, except it's on a on these crystals here. But yeah, it's let's see. So we have, I think we have a gate. Oh no, we have a gate somewhere. Here's a. Is that? Oh yeah, we can go right in there. And we have a platform up here. We can walk around here, and that's basically it. Yeah, storage. That's where we spawned up there. It's kind of dark in here. There we go. So yeah, it's this kind of flyer-friendly treehouse area. Not a lot to it, but this is what we built here. All glass and tech-themed place on a giant crystals hanging from the ceiling, and we can survey the boss fight from here, although we can't fight the boss from here, and I don't think we ever successfully fought the boss from that platform. I think we're too far away or too high up, you know, vertically. Yeah, those kinds of problems. But yeah, this is it. Alright, and that brings us, I'm so glad we actually made it in here. That brings us to, let's see. So this was our desert outpost. So we got a main base in the center city, we got a base in the snow biome, forest biome, and here is our desert biome base. Here next to the boss fight again. It's always nice to have a little station by the boss fight, you know. And, you know, if we need desert stuff, we can just collect it out here. Wonder if anybody's in here. The gate kind of operates a bit weird. Nobody's here, but this is, yeah. It's actually kind of, it's a small base, but, you know, it's pretty cool. I tried to design it with a theme in mind and kind of a unique character. Bit of crafting ability in here. We have all these doors just remain open, you know, to give a nice airy feel, let the breeze in. You can see the obelisk straight out in front of the base. You can go up these stairs here, and then there's a bed and a gravestone. That you can see the obelisk again. You can view things. There's really hardly any creatures. I think everything needs a dino wipe. Everything needs a dino wipe, it looks like. And yeah, of course, the interesting thing about this one is that you can walk up the ceiling the entire way. Yay! And this is where our teleporter is. During Extinction, I didn't use this awesome teleporter remote. I just never used it. I don't know why. I just thought it wasn't really functional. I didn't really need it or something. But yeah, that's right. And I kind of thought it was a bit too much, a bit OP for the game. But I don't know. One day I was like, just give me that thing. I'm going to use it now. And then I just became instantly addicted to it. Yeah, so you can walk all the way up to the top and see everything all over again from an even higher viewpoint. So that was our desert base. We built this pretty late in the game as well. I just kind of wanted a fun, cool base in all the distinct biomes of the map. And there is, of course, one more base that we haven't seen yet, and that is, of course, the city base. You know, the city is a very high-tech thing, and we don't really have any high-tech looking bases in there. And of course, it's very high, so I wanted to build, at the end of the playthrough, I wanted to build, you know, a high-up, kind of more of a high-tech kind of thing. So that's what we did. Alright, so basically at the top of the world, you can see the entire map from up there. There's a beacon drop, whatever. There's our two, home 1, home 2, home 3, dangerous home 4 somewhere over there, and up here at the top of the largest spire, in full view of that broken moon, we have this. This is basically the trophy base, and of course the taxidermy was included in this map, so it's a trophy taxidermy base, and I tried to make it kind of cool, a bit high-tech looking. Of course I didn't build it out of tech stuff, except for the roof. Got tech on the roof up here, because that is just really resource intensive. Yeah, so let me show you around places you enter from the top. Let me just land. Nope, can't land. Oh yeah, these things have a double landing thing. So yeah, taxidermy base. There we go, all the taxidermies you could not ever want. I like these. Yeah, the Gigantopithecus. Yeah, the Gigantopithecus has kind of a couple of what do you call it? Easter egg poses, and I think they are a metaphor. It's kind of a metaphor, you know, because they're quite, you know, human looking. They're like humans, you know, and you know, humans are kind of this way. I can't see, I can't see. Oh, I can't hear, I can't hear. You know how humans are. I think that's what they meant by it. I mean, they could have done anything, and they did that, right? Here's yeah, the Titan trophy area. Of course, this is before the S Plus was all updated with better taxidermy stuff. So this is all kind of vanilla taxidermy stuff. You know, for whatever reason, the saber-tooth one comes out really well. It's a nice big one. It's like basically almost or life-size, I think. You know, on a large taxidermy base, but you know, other things like on a large taxidermy base, the man of armor is tiny. Makes no sense, right? Yeah, we got some fish. That's pretty cool. I tried to make scenes, you know, you can kind of splice these together, at least in single player you can. And you know, you can kind of make little scenes out of them. I like the RG taxidermies, those are pretty big and they're pretty nice. I think that's even just a medium taxidermy base, and the RG is pretty big. So I like to put it kind of high up like that, and you see it's like an RG flying past you in the air. It's pretty cool. There you go, made a little scene here, a couple of buffos there. Can kind of see everything from a higher view. Picnic tables for having a drink, you know, maybe a soft drink while you gaze upon the surrounding wasteland and all the creatures that have survived and perished countless times within it. A lot of glass, a lot of metal, and some tech. Of course, the tech doors and everything. And then up here I have my personal little base. Right up here with my personal little balcony. I can look out on the other end. There's another drop over there. I can see the battle boss arena. Got a map just in case I get lost. Yeah, another bed and stuff like that. And you know, you can maybe take the wingsuit, the glider from here. Actually, I did that. I think I might have started from my balcony. Yeah, I jumped off my balcony, took my glider for a spin, went all the way around to my base, and then I made it to my base in the desert wasteland, or the biome down there. Actually, it was really easy because this is so high up. But yeah, and you can see everything again from the top. Yeah, this took a while to build as well, but you know, it's a trophy. It was a fun playthrough. I'd say the hardest part were the drops, the beacons that would come down. You had to defend those and get the loot with using the tech shield. At least that's how I did it on single player. I used a tech shield. But the red ones, all you need is basically ride a fully leveled imprinted Giga, hopefully of a high level, and then have maybe 5 or 6 Rexes. And what you do is you put one Rex nearby where you want your main Rex army to kind of be stationed at strategically, and you set them on passive and to not move, and then you have all your other army of Rexes follow that one, maybe like on a medium follow distance, and then you just set them onto neutral or attack my target, right? And then you ride around on the Giga destroying most of it, and then your Rex army helps out with things nearby, and they do a lot of work too. And then whenever they're done fighting, they come back to that one Rex who's just on passive there. And that worked out pretty well for me. I was only able to complete a purple drop one time, and that was the first time I ever attempted it. After that, I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. It was mostly from my Rex army and my Giga trying to clear out the nearby creatures, and that would do most of the damage to the beacon, and then we always just lost the beacon, and then the fight was over. But we did manage to do it somehow the first time, and so we only did a purple one once. Yeah, so that was our Extinction playthrough. Yeah, I've got some mechs up there that I never really used at all. I think those are actually pretty good. We ended up getting really good blueprints for mechs. I think I can't even remember now, but yeah, one of them's like really pretty OP. And yeah, I do like this base quite a lot. It's really cool. And then, of course, we arrived here on Scorched Earth, something I had been looking forward to for a long time. But yeah, we spent a lot of time on here. We did so many things, and it's time to move on. And it's like, it's hard to believe, I will miss this place. I will miss Scorched Earth. So yeah, we have done much here, and a lot of the work we've done here we're gonna take with us in the future. Maybe not in Aberration, because Aberration is kind of like a special map with special restrictions on dinos and stuff. That's funny. Yay! Ooh. I'm Spaceman. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for the episode. It was kind of long, and sorry I took you down a trip, memory lane, but I just wanted to show you where we've come from, because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been, right? So as we soar on into the future, I do hope you stay with us. Like the video if you enjoyed seeing all the memories of mine throughout our playthroughs, and as we continue on to Aberration at lightning speed to conquer what we see, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna spawn there with our skin suit on. That's basically it. Yeah, so I hope to see you there in the next episode, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.